Hello and welcome to Celebrate Southern Africa. My name is Dawn Denton, and today we come together to honor and celebrate the incredible strength, resilience, and achievement of women across our nation and the globe. Today is South Africa's Women's Day 2024. Now, this day is rooted in the historic 1956 march to the Union Buildings by 20,000 women protesting against the apartheid pass laws. And it serves as a powerful reminder of the ongoing fight for gender equality and empowerment. Now, this evening, we are really privileged to have with us a group of extraordinary speakers who have made significant contributions in their respective fields. Each of them embodies the spirit of Women's Day through the work they do, the dedication, and then their unwavering commitment to making a difference. So we're going to hear some stories and insights and visions for the future. But I think tonight is more about being inspired to continue the work that still needs to be done to ensure that every woman in South Africa and beyond has the opportunity to thrive. And of course, we know as women that we only thrive when we bring others with us and we encourage others to engage in the process. So tonight, our first speaker is Hazel Hoole, and she is the founder of the fabulous Sheepskin Slippers SA. Now, her primary goal is to keep South Africa's feet warm and cozy during the winter. Now, her career spans various entrepreneurial endeavours in the UK and in South Africa. And although a South African at heart, she is a globally minded entrepreneur with spirit. She loves horses, music, and wildlife, but most importantly, she doesn't like cold feet. Now, I met Hazel through the South African Chamber of Commerce in the UK and had the greatest of pleasure of working with Hazel during the pandemic. Yeah, probably up to about 3 times a day. And I've always admired her drive, sense of purpose, and her incredibly organized brain. Now, Hazel's talk this evening is about encouraging women to engage from an entrepreneurial perspective. So welcome, and over to you, Hazel.
Oh, thank you, Dawn, for that very kind introduction. Yeah, like Dawn said, I'm Hazel Hoole, and I'm the founder of Sheepskin Slippers SA. And we make some pretty cool sheepskin slippers. It's a small business, and I started it about 7 years ago. And it's taken a lot of hard work and determination to get where I am. And part of that was because I knew I had to engage. I had to connect. I had to put myself forward and to push myself, even when sometimes I just felt like I couldn't anymore. Because before, I had nothing. So let me explain on that. I came back to South Africa after living in the UK for 22 years, where I'd had a few startup businesses, some with some success and some not so much. And I arrived back in South Africa with virtually nothing. I had no job, no money, and I was living with family. And optimistically, I sent out my colorful CV every single day. And all I got back was crickets. Absolutely no responses to my gazillions of job applications. And I was reminded of this great Moroccan proverb. There is no beauty but the beauty of action. And this I can relate to completely because I love to tick a box and get things done. It really is action that that holds the real reward for me. And actions have the power to change the world around us, inspire others, and ultimately, with action, we can achieve what we really want. And with this, I realized that I had to make my own way. I had to draw from my entrepreneurial experience, and ultimately, I had to engage and get cracking with creating my own opportunities because sending my CV out wasn't going to provide those opportunities. So I started looking at my network. It wasn't huge, but it included some previous clients still in the UK, my friends and my family. And I decided to get in touch with my previous clients, UK clients, and I offered them virtual business support services where I had some success in. In fact, that's what Dawn was talking about, where we met. And then my mom, knowing that my marketing and sales skills are pretty strong, she sent me one tog bag with about 10 pairs of sheepskin slippers in it. Yep, I had to pay her back for those. And I sold those and I bought more from her. I sold those and I bought more. And each time I reinvested that profit back into the business, to the extent that I now have thousands of slippers in stock. So I want to plant a seed with you here and say that it's really important to identify who's in your network and figure out how you can take advantage of that. And don't let imposter syndrome or the fear of judgment hold you back. Make sure your network knows who you are and what your skill set is. It's really beneficial. Then recently, my mom passed away. So yet another challenge. And in fact, it was a huge one, because not only had I lost my mom, but she was the one who crafted all the slippers that I was selling. And she'd done this very successfully for about the last 30 years. So I felt really lost. And my business had literally run dry without her because she was my only supplier. But a chattering bird builds no nest, right? I know us ladies love a good natter, but this proverb tells us to stop talking about what we want to do and actually do it. Again, I had to engage, but in a different way this time. This old dog had to learn new tricks, and I had to learn how to craft a slipper because I hadn't learned while Mom was around. So we had Mom's very popular Margie's Comfies patterns professionally improved and learned how to make these slippers from scratch. And it's not as easy as one may think. And things started to look up. We had 2 slipper suppliers, and then boom, within 6 months, both closed down. And I was like, well, now what? Without the slippers, I'm back to square one. And the thought of closing down my business just wasn't an option. So I jumped on a plane and I engaged with my network again. I had stacks of meetings and I was seriously flying by the seat of my pants, trying to find a solution. And luckily, those who I had spoken to had strong connections back into the footwear industry. And word spread like only the Bush Telegraph in South Africa can. And it wasn't long before a stalwart in the footwear industry came out of retirement to work with me. He's an amazing man. He's the very man who made the pair of shoes that Nelson Mandela iconically walked out of prison into freedom in. I wouldn't have met him or been able to save my business or keep the slipper makers in their jobs if I hadn't engaged and taken action. My final thought in one last proverb that us South Africans love. Ubuntu. A person is a person because of other people. We are who we are because of others. So whether this is your network, our suppliers, our team, our service providers, our partners, spouses, friends, and family, I am because of this whole network that is around me. It's an ecosystem, and we all need each other to exist. Without others, my business wouldn't exist. I'm therefore truly grateful for all those others who have engaged with me to enable me to be. Ladies, this Women's Day, I encourage you to step up and engage, because I truly believe that this is when success in all areas of life starts. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Hazel. Goodness me, that's an inspiration and a real testament to the strength that we as women have. So thank you very much for sharing your insights.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Thank you, Dawn.